preface this video by saying that I'm not talking down to anybody. Every mistake I mentioned is a mistake I've personally made. I also think it's good to note that Chester was never sent to a trainer during this journey. So, if you have a finished barrel horse 99% of the time, the problem is you. And I know it sucks to hear. This is Chester. Together we have qualified for the Junior World Finals in Las Vegas and made the finals, filled my WPRA permit, and recently we have qualified for the American, which is kind of a big deal. So I'm going to critique a lot of my runs on him. I'm going to let you watch the run completely through and you can make your own opinions, and then I will break it down from everything that went right and everything that went wrong, what to do and what to absolutely not do. So I'm going to start with a kind of decent run and then we will work our way back up from there. Coming in, I put him right where I need to be, and then I stay still and go one-handed. Here, my seat is decent, and I stay one-handed all the way through the turn, and I don't go two-handed until I'm ready to set up for the next barrel. Here, my seat is decent again. It gets a little off, but I let him do his thing. And then here, I pull with the outside. Don't do that! And that causes us to be wide on our third. Pulling with your outside hand causes their shoulder to be in the wrong position. So if you do this and your horse's shoulder dives into the turn or you blow the turn, I'm sorry, it was not your horse, it was you. You need to make sure their shoulders are set up properly, and just because you're scared you're going to hit the barrel, know that pulling with the outside is most likely just going to hurt your run and not help. This is one of our first runs together about 2 years ago. I come in and I do not set him up good for the turn. I don't lift his shoulder, I don't do anything, I just drop. And I lean too far back and you can see that my reins are way too long. You can see that I'm not lifting his shoulder, here I don't do anything, and I'm just praying he turns, which normally is not going to happen. Here it is again where I just run in and pray for the best and drop, and I don't set him up. Here if I would have lifted his shoulder and rounded his body, that barrel would not have dropped. Here my seat gets all jacked up, which messes up the turn. The best thing you can do is be still in the saddle. Here I pull with my outside. I attempt to lift his shoulder, but I'm not making good contact. Again, my reins are too long, so the barrel falls. Here I send him in too wide and I get behind, lean, and that causes us to step out. This sets up a bad second barrel and my seat is up really far, and then in the next clip you can see my leg get behind me. This will cause blown barrels, but I lifted his shoulder, so that was better than the last video. Here I pull with my outside and I don't lift. This pushes him way too far away from the barrel, and when you pull with your outside, their inside shoulder is going to drop in, which caused a very rough third barrel. I set him up good going into the first barrel, but I go two-handed way too soon. This causes a rough turn rather than a smooth turn, and it's just better to stay one-handed around. Here I lift and drop, and you can see my seat is much better and my legs are right where they're supposed to be and they're not getting behind me. Here I come in too wide, pull, I do not give enough room to work, and normally you're going to catch the barrel when you have too wide of a pocket going in. This run was gorgeous and the fastest run out of anybody in this whole series and even the next series here. I set him up the same coming in, but here I stay one-handed, setting up a nice smooth turn which sets me up way better for my second barrel. Here I drop, my outside leg helps, and my legs are where they are supposed to be. Here I still go a little wide into the third and I lift, and we barely get by it, but much better. I was not ready for how fast Chester came in, and my seat suffered. Here I am sprung way too high out of the saddle, which causes my spur to hit him and is going to always cause a wide turn, and I go two-handed way too fast. Here is better, but I lean. Don't lean. And I go way, way, way too wide into the third barrel, but I am able to pull him back around it. Would have been great if I'd gone right to my spot. Again, I set him up the same, but I stay one-handed, which gives us this beautiful first barrel, almost an overfinished barrel, and I keep my hand forward instead of back. This sets us up for a great second. Here I pull with the outside, which I would not recommend, but his head did not turn the opposite way, which is very dangerous. My seat is looking good, but as I come into the third and lift, I get up a little bit, causing my inside leg to go back, and that bumps him out of the barrel. I want you to watch my seat in this video and see how still I am even when I go past the barrels. Come in too wide to the first barrel, causing us to go a little bit past it, but my seat stays still, so it is not as bad as it could have been. If I got past and my feet got back, we could have completely blown around that barrel. I come in too wide here and I lean. Don't lean like that. It does nothing. And then I come in right at the third, but I pull a little too late, and that causes a little bit of a rougher barrel. The first barrel is the fact that I was tense and my legs were too stiff, causing me to come out of the saddle and smack him all around with my feet, causing this monstrosity of a barrel. I get him back right at the second. Again, my seat is still struggling and I lean, which does not help. The best thing you can do is stay centered for your horse. My seat is still struggling. I lean back and here I pull with a straight arm rather than a bent arm, and I even turn my hand under, which causes a delay in contact. So instead of turning right when I pulled because he didn't feel it because my hand was straight, it causes us to blow around the barrel. My next run, my seat is better. It's still a little struggling, but my feet remain underneath me instead of behind me, and this allows for a much better setup. Say this last one. And then I set him up way better for the second, help him around. I still lean, but my seat is much better. Sometimes you have to just fix yourself. Here I almost fall over, causing another wide turn. This run would have been a million times faster if my seat had remained still. After the first run, it would have been so easy for me to go back to where I was staying and drill the barrels on Chester, do a ton of slow work that first barrel, and unnecessarily tax his body and his mind when it was my seat. It's very important to look to see what you are doing before you blame the horse. 99% of the time, it's you, and I know it sucks to hear, but it's very true. Before you ever drill your horse or get mad at your horse, watch back, watch in slow motion, and see what you are doing. Coming into the first, I lean way, way, way back, which pushes my inside leg into him, and again, I go two-handed too early. Here my leg gets way behind me, and we blow this barrel because I'm giving him so many mixed signals. Here I pull his head to the outside, a big, big no-no, never, never, I'm sorry, and I lean back, my feet get behind me, and we blow this barrel. Immediately following this run, my spurs came off. This is our first run after I take my spurs off. I come in and my seat is pretty good, but I go two-handed too soon and I get popped up right here, which is all lost time. But I get him set right good for the second, and he's not round, which causes a rough turn. Instead of being bent in, if I lifted his shoulder, he was bent out because I didn't. Here again, pulled with my outside, which is an absolute no, causing us to go past the third barrel. This was still an arena record, which blows my mind. Here I get scared that he's not gonna turn, so instead of lifting and riding forward, I bend way back, and our turn suffers a lot for it, and then here I pull his head to the outside again. Here's another example of how this messes up your turn. His inside shoulder bends into the barrel, which is not what you want, and this is the roughest turn ever. You are always going to get a turn like this if you pull your horse's head to the outside. This is the first run where I lift on every barrel instead of pulling with my outside, so I'm going to let you watch it. This run was so fast and so pretty, my personal best here. Coming in, I'm sitting very still and I lift and let him do his thing. Coming into second, again, I only lift. My seat is much better. I drop and look for the next barrel while helping with my outside. Going to the third, I set him up very nice. I don't even flirt with touching him with my outside hand. See, I only lift and look at this third barrel compared to that last video. It is so important to not pull on the outside. My seat is so much better in this run. Coming in, I do lean a little bit back, but because my seat is so much better, I am able to get back forward again, and I remain one-handed all the way through the turn. Here, staying forward allows for better contact than if I were leaning back just pulling on him. And here I lift and drop, and you can see how smooth my seat is and how tight this turn was. Going into the third, we look good. I was tempted and gently tugged on the outside, causing us to go past our barrel. If I had just lifted, then it would have been a nice turn.
Into the walk forward. Wow, a 14 and 9:53, 14 and 9:53. Step aside. There's a clean lead.
This run was crazy fast. Watch my seat, look at how still I am, and I stay still around the whole barrel, and I keep one-handed all the way around. Here I set him up nice for the second. Stay still, help with my outside, guide him around the barrel rather than leaning back. When you lean back, you're pulling them to slow down. And I stayed forward, causing this gorgeous turn and no reduction in speed. With this run, I filled my permit, making us pro. This one was even faster than the day before. Same setup going into the first, very still, one-handed all the way around. My feet are in front of me like they need to be, and this is a tight, tight turn. I still do not have spurs on. They have remained off. Here I overfinished a little bit, and around the second, again, I only lift, help with my outside foot, look for the next barrel, and go straight to my spot. And I am staying very forward, as you can see, lift instead of pull, and this is the result, a very, very gorgeous third barrel. With this run, we qualify for the American and are 6th out of over 600 entries in the Open. My spurs are back on for this run because my seat had been much better and I had not accidentally been hitting him with my feet when I didn't mean to. He flies in and my seat gets up, but immediately I fix it. I don't go two-handed to try and help. I keep doing what I'm doing and just get my butt back down. This causes a wide exit out of the first barrel, but since my seat is so quiet, I was able to get him right back for the second barrel, lift, and This was a gorgeous second barrel here. I do not pull with the outside, I lift, and this turn is also very, very nice. From this angle, you can see I did come out too wide from the second, and our turn could have been so much better, and we could have won if I had the right angle. Thank you so much for watching this video. I've been blessed with amazing horse people along my journey to catch every little thing that I've done. I know not everyone has had that privilege, so hopefully you can see yourself in some of these runs, and the breakdown will help you so much. All of these things have helped take me from the 3D to the junior worlds, to filling my WPRA permit, to qualifying for the American, so it is all about the journey. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more horse-related content like this, please subscribe and leave a like or comment, or both, up to you. Also, I have uploaded so many new designs to my Redbubble. All of the boys now have their own stickers, so go check those out. Okay, bye!